What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today's the day we're going into the dyno session. We're popping beers because, god damn it, it's been a hell of a week. An emotional roller coaster. Lots of fun. It just got back from the power tour. It was nuts. But first and foremost, Randy over at Ultimate Auto and Dyno. Dude, you're the boss. I had an absolute blast at the dyno session. Great dude. If you're ever in the New England area and need something dynoed or tuned and just performance stuff, I would highly recommend him. This isn't like a paid plug or anything like that. The guy was just amazing. He made this whole experience for me just that much better. It was such a great experience going through the dyno session, watch it, like just all of it. So without any further ado, I won't ramble on. Here's the first poll. All right, so that was the first poll. Really didn't do any adjustments there, just ran it off of what the Tech system was calling for. Yeah, I think it was 226 or whatever it was. You guys saw it, like, wasn't anything crazy. But that was just the first poll, and we did a number of polls. So here's the second one. So this is what the power curves look like after the first two polls. If you notice, halfway through, you just see this weird dip in the curve. So he made some smaller adjustments, and then he went to go talk to me about how his dyno is. And he told me, he goes, my dyno might break your heart, dude. It's not a very forgiving dyno. It's a very accurate rear wheel dyno, very similar to a Mustang dyno. What he did tell me was, and if you look at the sheet, this thing still was breathing around 6,100 RPMs, which there was a little bit of a tail off at that point. However, it was still breathing. It didn't die completely. So it was actually, he was like, dude, this is really impressive for a TPI 305 to be breathing at that RPM. So he gave me a lot of credit for the build that I did do. So here's some of the other polls. That was the final pull we did. We dialed it all in, and that's what ultimately the sheet looked like. We did not continue to carry it all the way to the 6,200 RPMs, just because it started to tail off a little bit, but there was no reason to keep pushing the motor to that RPM at that point, because we had already hit max power. So those were the final numbers. Max horsepower, 235.4, and max torque, 271, I believe, rear wheel. Definitely far from what I was hoping for. However, I'm still going to crack a beer because I built a goddamn motor in this garage, never doing it before. And at the end of the day, I can look back and I think there's definitely more power to gain out of this motor. I still have the factory rotating assembly, the dish pistons. I'd like to believe that me gasket matching the intake didn't hurt the velocity, but maybe it did. Who knows? I can second guess everything. But at the end of the day, I built a motor, and who knows? I could be ecstatic with how this car performs. For those that are new to this, I was building my 305 small block Chevy, keeping it a TPI intake, did cam heads intake, and ended up final numbers with rear wheel horsepower of 235.4 and rear wheel torque of 271 and change. Ultimately, that relates to about 285 at the fly and about 340 torque at the flywheel. So those are still fairly respectable numbers. It's going to be a fun car to drive. Fuel pump, just to dive in a little bit more of what happened for the power tour. Car didn't make it. The day we were supposed to leave, I was driving down to the transmission shop to have them take a look at the TV cable. Gave them a call, gave them a heads up. Drove the car, got my hair cut first, because, it's important. And driving into the transmission shop, let them know I was on my way. Got a call about halfway there, said, don't show up. Guy's not here yet. He'll give you a call when he gets in. I was like, no problem. Still had a bunch of stuff to do because I hadn't packed. I hadn't done anything. So started, going to Target, going to Dick's. Sporting's good, getting like a duffel bag and toiletries and shit. And coming out of Target, I lost reverse. Don't know what happened, just didn't have reverse anymore. So then I had to put it in neutral, push it back, got it into drive and went. Shortly thereafter, probably within like 4 or 5 minutes, I lost drive. But I still had third and second. It was weird. So maybe I lost first. I don't know. I wasn't able to shift it into first. So I shifted it into third, called the transmission shop. Unfortunately, they had 2 transmissions going in, 2 cars on the lifts. They had no room. Guy still wasn't there. Telling me, don't drive it down. Nothing we can do right now. I was freaking out a little bit because I was supposed to leave within hours of when this was happening. Started driving it home on the Mass Pike, which is a, pretty big highway. And about 8 miles from my house, the car lost all fuel pressure and just died on me on the side of the road. And that sucks because if you're from Mass, you break down on the Mass Pike, you got to call the state police. They're the ones that dispatch your tow. And it sucks because they charge you round trip. And even though it was an 8-mile tow, $500 later, car's back at the house, started trying to work on it. Worked on it till about 10 o'clock at night. And I couldn't get power to the fuel pump. Now, I can't work on the transmission and try to figure that out. It might just be as simple as the shifter cable. I don't know yet. Till this point, I still haven't been able to work on or get the fuel pump primed. So the car's got to go out again. So there's a little bit of disappointment in my voice. Some of it has to do with I was really hoping to get 300 horsepower to the rear wheels. But again, you know, the motor is sound. The motor's performing as it should. It's breathing well. So who knows? Maybe I go crazy with Ranchero and I go ahead and get a different cam and put little chub in Ranchero and get a little bit more of it, a little bit more of a beefier cam and throw it in this. Who knows? But I think the first thing, most important thing is I got to get the fuel pump taken care of. Who knows? Maybe the fuel pump is actually just somehow disconnected. A pin got disconnected inside the tank. For third gens, it's a pain in the balls. You got to rip out pretty much the whole rear end, and the tank isn't the easiest to come out. And right now there's about 14 gallons of premium fuel in that fuel tank. So that's not exciting to do at all. I have been able to get power to the pump. I just connected it directly to the battery just to see, and I'm getting no pressure still. So it could be a couple issues. I definitely feel like there's an issue with the pump inside the tank, and maybe there's some wiring issues with the Phytech system. Don't know yet. That should be going out soon, and once that gets figured out, then I can work on the transmission and the TV cable. I don't know what's going on with the TV cable. I can't get it to extend properly to where it should be. So we'll see how that goes. At the end of the day, this was an amazing journey, experience. I learned a lot. I met some really cool people along the way. Ken, again, over at First Performance, even till this day, he's reaching out and he's always there to help. Amazing guy. If you like that TPI setup, I highly recommend the First Performance TPI setup. Over at TPIS, Jim, I believe things are kind of slowing down for him. He's always been very helpful when I needed his help, but I think he's dealing with some stuff. So unfortunately, I don't know what the status is at TPIS, but I can't say enough good things about him. And then Randy, again, over at Ultimate Auto and Dyno, cool dude. Like, it was, all the people that I met through this whole process has been amazing. Had a lot of fun doing it, and unfortunately, due to this whole thing, like, I caught the bug, and on the power tour, because I couldn't bring the Camaro, I was a little bit of a grumpy Gus, probably the first day. I did my best to hide it for the sake of my cousin, so I wasn't being a damper on his time too, because it was his vacation as well. And I went out and bought a 1991 old body style Silverado, regular cab, long bed, out of a trailer park, and we ran that thing all the way through the power tour. Picked it up on the second day. Didn't get it on the first day. Tried to. Nobody would get back to us. But picked it up on the second day, and that thing is clapped out. There'll be more videos to come on that. I'm going to start a whole new playlist on the Ranchero rehab restoration. I'm definitely going to drop it and all other good stuff. So if you like old body styles, check that one out. That will be coming fairly soon once I get the Camaro going. And I'll be doing some stupid stuff with all of it. I mean, the amount of times that I beat the living hell out of that truck on that power tour. I mean, any chance I could to do a burnout, we did. One wheel peel and all, didn't matter. We had fun with it, and it was an absolute blast. This has been a great time. The car community is a fantastic community. It's a great hobby. There's a lot of other worse things you can do. Granted, it's probably more the expensive hobby, but don't do drugs. Drugs are bad. But this has been an absolute blast. I hope you guys have enjoyed this journey with me. There's going to be a lot more to come because I've really enjoyed this. One of the other things I thought of, maybe, I don't know if it's true or not. I'm wondering if I have my spark plugs tight enough. I heard that if they're not seated properly, even though they're tapered, that you could lose some compression. If you know that to be true, let me know. And I have no problem just double checking those, because probably before I brought it in, I double checked the tightness, and some of those spark plugs aren't easy to get to, and I got sausage fingers, so not the easiest to reach with the wrench. But till next time, guys, be safe. Appreciate all the support. Appreciate all the comments. Love that you guys have followed along with this. There'll be a lot more fun stuff coming down the road as I continue to enjoy this new hobby of mine that I've gotten into. Like, I'm going to build some motors. Hopefully get a little bit better numbers. Who knows? I might do the unthinkable and build an LS. I don't know about that, but we'll see what's next to come for Ranchero. So till next time, guys, I'll keep you updated on the Camaro as well. Once I get it running, we'll make some pretty cool videos, some burnouts, get that posse kicked in, and take it from there. So be safe.